How do I get this to work? All right, we should be good to go. Make sure here. I had to write that really quick.
All right, we should be good to go.
All right, cool. We are good. All right, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and we'll get rolling here. And let me turn this phone audio off. Can I turn the audio off here? How do I turn audio off? I don't know how. All right, today is going to be massive. The biggest morning y'all will ever see. I'm kidding. Well, it's going to be massive. Wait, can I turn that off? Hold on, I got to get my YouTube out of here. Oh, it's this YouTube. All right, sorry, I'm trying to work this YouTube thing. It's a little pain in the butt sometimes. All right, let's customize this grid. Perfect. All right, let's get you up here. All right, we should be good to go now. All right, that should be good. That should be good. You know what we can do actually? Watch this. looky there. Oh, how hip you are, Lance. I feel hip, too. Knowing how to do this stuff. All right, let's move that out the way. All right, let's get to what's cracking pre-market. And how we can find that is, let's just go ahead and pull up the good internet and go to what is moving pre-market. Mostly it's Intel, Tesla, space, and crypto frauds. So a lot of the high flyers, which is good because I'm in all those, obviously. All right, so let's pull out what's happening pre-market. Woof, gonna be huge this morning. Oh my God, lunar bid, Chewy bid. Wow. Oh my days. Wow, we're gonna have a big morning. All right, let's do a little pre-market, then we'll get to the action because I am pumped. Good morning, Joe, Maggie, Lee, Jeremy, Rebecca, Debbie. Do we have two Debbies? No, Debbie. Debbie R. was actually number one in the chat. Early bird gets the worm. All right, so basically we got the big news was crypto. So all the crypto, crypto was in a bear market. Bitcoin was down about 25%. So you got crypto up about 10%. So what's that going to do? It's going to squeeze all the high flyers. So what's going to be sensitive? Highly shorted stocks. Basically, the stocks that are beat down, your Maras, your Riots, your Coinbase, but also that's going to also roll over into your Lunars, your Chewies, your GameStops, your space stocks, basically everything that has a high short interest is going to be affected. If you look at IWM, it's up to about $1 pre-market, and the Nasdaq's starting to rally a little bit, and then obviously Tesla, because a lot of people bet against Tesla as well. So that's going to be really, really good. And then your safe stocks are going to get sold. So your food and beverage stocks. By the way, do y'all see what's happening with DJT? Look at DJT this morning. It's up about 65 cents. So that's another one, right? Highly shorted that we saw calls on in Trump. Just, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week we saw some Trump calls. So that's going to be really good. And we added to those actually on Friday. I bought more because, got to. All right, but let's see what's else and what we have game set for the game plan today. All right, here we go. So let's get to the upgrades. I think they're a little late on these. So let me just give you some real data because apparently that's a little fake news here. But if we look to what's really moving pre-market, it's Tesla. So Tesla got an upgrade from Morgan Stanley as their top stock in the U.S. Auto market, and by Stifel with a 474 price target. And then apparently Musk tweeted their profit can rise 1,000%. So, I take all this with a grain of salt, but usually I do the opposite of what the analysts say. So if you're in Tesla, what are we going to do this morning if you're in Tesla? What are we probably going to do in Tesla this morning? Let's see how long. There might be like a minute or two delay. What are we going to do in Tesla this morning? What are we going to do on mostly all the positions this morning? We're going to sell, right? Right? So we're already up about 35% on Tesla on Friday from Thursday. So today should be up, hopefully 100% on the Tesla and TSLL calls. So we're going to look to close, right? So think about this real quick. What is everyone going to do this morning? Think about it. What is CNBC, and what is probably everyone telling you to do this morning? Same with Intel. If you're in Quick Flip, you got those Intel calls. Look how big Intel's up. 6% pre-market. So what are we going to do? We're going to be net sellers. Because this morning, I'm sure, did anyone listen to CNBC or anyone else this morning? And if so, what did they say? Probably buy, right? Buy. Market's safe, market's up. So, yeah, they're telling everyone to buy. So what are we going to do? We're going to be sellers. Sell as much on these positions as we can, and then keep an eye, obviously, on market eternal. But look at this in Intel. So Intel, if you're in those calls, just look for a breakout to start trimming over the previous high. So 25.5. You want to set a little alert. That's it. Keep it simple. So maybe sell half at the open, sell the other half if we take out the high. So Tesla, same thing, right? What are you going to do in Tesla? You're going to sell, let the market open, sell some, and then maybe we take out 304.5. You sell the balance, right? So just look for prior highs. My fear this morning is that we gap up and then we just sell off, because that would be the nastiest bull trap out there, right? So the nastiest trap would be we open up, everyone gets long. And where is everyone getting long? I mean, look at this here. This is a great example. Look where everyone's getting long. Look where everyone's going to buy. Up here at overhead resistance. So what do we want to do at resistance? We want to sell. So all the donkeys, oh, look, market's up, momentum's up. Yeah, because they're playing reactive, right? So we got in, when were we getting long stuff? We were getting long Friday with wiretap, Friday buying, Thursday with Tesla, and then today we're going to be selling at overhead resistance. I'll keep a few swings on. So let me show you some swings I'm keeping on. Lunar. I'm going to sell. I have a pretty big position in Lunar for earnings, I should say. It's pretty big. So I'm going to be selling some Lunar because it's a space stock and they're all bid up this morning as well. But my goal is to hold the balance. I think I bought a 20 lot. 20 lot? Or a 40 lot? Oh, just a 20 lot. I'll probably build up to a 50 lot. But those Lunar March 12 calls, I'll probably sell maybe 5 contracts. But I want to hold at least 5 to 10 grand into earnings on this stock. Highly shorted space stock, big upside potential. And then you also have ASTS with earnings this week. Right? You also have ASTS. I think they have earnings after the bell. This is a space stock as well. 3-4. So tomorrow after the bell. And ASTS. Remember, we caught this stock and I sold it too early up in here. And it continued to go up. I sold it way too early. But ASTS was a pretty great trade. Those space stocks really trend well once they get going. So basically, let's go through the book real quick. Bank, those calls were up 38% already on Friday. We'll sell the balance. Chewy, they're up about 15%, sell the balance. Lunar, sell a little bit. Annette as the put hedge. It's a good hedge. I'll probably hold on to it. When I hedge, my full intention is go to 0. DJT, we'll look to sell those calls this morning. Disney, we should be getting near profit target on Disney for warped options. And then the Zeta calls. Zeta was pretty good, a pretty big mover on Friday. And that should be about it. And then Intel, those calls will close out this morning as well, obviously. So everything should be rocking real good. We're going to be, account should be at new highs of the year. TKO, I don't know if that's a real mark or not. I've been buying lots of TKO. No, it's not a real mark. Okay, just making sure. I've been buying lots of TKO common in my Robinhood account. Basically, I sold almost everything and bought all TKO in my Robinhood. I have TSLL in Tesla and then TKO. And that's pretty much my whole Robinhood account nowadays. There's only like 45 grand in it, but I am going pretty, or I did go, I should say, pretty big in TKO on that dip. I think I had a 40 lot of $10 calls at one point. So that was fun. What else do we have here? Intel, yeah, 25.10. Tesla at 301. Lunar should be flirting with 15. Oh, Lunar, let me pull up. Did y'all see how big this trade was in Lunar? If you did not get in on this, you need the news flow scanner, right? I mean, that should be a staple. But look how big this Lunar trade was. This doesn't give it justice. So this trader, and look how repeat. This is like a repeat customer at McDonald's. They just keep getting McFlurries. This is what I want y'all to look at. Over the past 10 days, this trader has been buying Lunar calls. But these calls here, and look, they're in the money calls. So that's in the money is what you want to see. Your confidence should be going up. But this trader here bought March 21st expiration. They have earnings on March 20th. Now, this can be a little misleading because it says $352,000, which is big. It's a little space stock. 350 grand in NVIDIA's nothing. But for Lunar, let me show y'all just how big this trade was. Because it wasn't 350 grand. What you don't see is the trader behind it, because they moved the market so much. I shouldn't say they moved the market so much. They couldn't register at the time because it was so big. But the trader did actually, he came back and bought about 10,000 contracts. Let me see if I can pull it up on a blank chart. Here we go. So the trader actually in Lunar, you saw the first initial order. But look, the trader actually came and bought, 9,000, 2,000. So 9,000, 2,000, 1,000. Let's just round it up to 10,000 to make it easy math. And they paid about, $360? So how many million is that, right? It's 3.6 million bucks. I'll show y'all just so, we're all calculator friendly. So if you do the math on the trade, so 360 bucks a contract. They did 10,000 contracts. It's a pretty big bet, right? So probably their intention is to hold Lunar through earnings and get assigned the common stock. And you say, why are they getting the stock? Or how do you know they're going to do that? Think about it, 10,000 contracts. That's 1 million shares of stock. Since they bought in the money calls, they're probably going to want to do the in the money calls and hold them through earnings. So let's say the stock closes at, I don't know, let's just say 15. And they have 10 million shares. Yeah, that's a pretty big, position. Or pardon me, a million shares. That's a $15 million position in Lunar. By the way, the CBOE is coming out right now talking about Bank of America trade from Friday that we did. So the Bank of America trade, the CBOE just came out with a report saying there was a buyer of 27,000 Bank of America March 46 and a half calls, and basically just said it was the most profitable equity market-to-market profit open. It obviously wasn't, but in I guess the big cap stocks that they follow, it was. The trader made 1.1 million on a 1.2 million dollar outlay in Bank of America calls. And where did we see those? Look, right here. There's the trade. So the CBO just came out with a note talking about the Bank of America trade, actually. So again, I give y'all these tools so that y'all can see these trades in real life. That's the trade. And that's the trade we did on Friday. So I want y'all to be able, obviously, to do it on your own, right? It only shows the trades from the market open. So the option market opens at 9:30. So that's one, and it will showcase. Option market opens at 9:30. So everything right now is from, Friday or before. So this Bank of America trade, the CBO, we just highlighted it. Again, you see it first. So let's see what else hit the scanner. So again, today, look at those Coinbase calls. Think that trader had a little tip here with 5 minutes left in the day? Right? Think that trader who bought weekly Coinbase calls knew about the Bitcoin thing? Oh, and MSTR 8 minutes before the closing bell? You're darn right they did. Crypto is the most fraud industry out there. So when you see crypto flow, you can think to yourself, it's the shadiest thing out there. You can think, hey, there's always possible news. Are you going to get news on Google? No. Are you going to get news on NVIDIA? No. So avoid those stocks. I mean, Google actually trades well, but NVIDIA, don't touch it, BABA, are you going to get news? Of course. Why? It's a China stock. Those kind of stocks are the ones you really want to isolate. eBay had a little call buyer as well yesterday. I like those after the earnings dip. And then one name I want to get into is Target. Target has earnings this week. All these expired. But Target actually started to see, and I posted this in the option pit, some, let's actually look at Target. Some next week calls. So now this week calls. So think of this chart in Target, right? Let me just pull it up on a blank chart, actually. Let's do a little chart reading. All right, I do a little chart reading here in Target. And then y'all can come to me this week and then say good or bad. But I want y'all to think about it from a emotional point of view. So they have earnings tomorrow before the open. So let's say I want to do a little Target chart. All right. I want to look at the past 4 quarters on earnings. So gap down, gap up, gap down, gap up. So it goes up, down, up, down. What should this quarter be? Up, right? I mean, that's just a little pattern point. Obviously, I would put a small percentage weight on that, right? But up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's up. It's like an IQ test. No, but seriously, what are we probably going to have in Target? And this is kind of what I want you all to think from chart reading. So you had Target with the gap down. So all these people got stopped. So everyone who owned Target, we're going to use buyers or B for buy up in here, they got stopped out. So they had to sell. Why? Because it took out the previous low. So if everyone sold Target, right in here, the stock kind of had a dead cat bounce or a lazy cat bounce. I don't know if we can say there was buyers, but we'll say some people bought. We'll just say for shits and giggles. And then it went down. So what did those people do? They probably got sold again. So now if you have no more sellers in Target, and you could say a double bottom, all that, whatever. I don't look at it. I don't really care about that. If you have no more sellers in Target, and the chart is so bad, so everyone is probably avoiding Target, where can this stock go? 145. I mean, really? To 155 if it has a massive short squeeze. So when I look at stuff like this, I will take a flyer, and I think I started buying a couple calls. Did I? I don't remember if I did. I think maybe in Robinhood, or I will today. So if you look at stuff like that, let's say you look at the 135 calls. They're 240. And let's say you get a move to 145. So those calls go from 240 to 10 bucks. That's a fantastic risk versus reward, right? You 4x your money. So you have a 4x potential. If you're wrong and Target goes down, you lose, right? It goes to zero, your position. You lose 100%. And let's say, hypothetically, there's a 50-50 chance. So we'll call it a binary play. So you're telling me I could flip a coin and I can lose 100 bucks or I can make $400? I'm taking that every time, right? So this is kind of what I want y'all thinking. Not in terms of, well, I got to be right. Because anytime you're right over 70%, your winners are going to be very small, like 10, 20%. If I can flip a coin, so I have a 50% chance to make 4x my money, this is any day of the week. So this is the kind of trades and mindset I want y'all to start thinking about in terms of markets. I think everyone's so caught up, and I see the marketing, don't tell Nathan this or Graham, but I see the marketing. It says 95% win rate, 85% win rate. Yeah, but you're winning like 4%, 5%. And when you add in commissions, maybe 1%. So why not try to win 55, 60%, but you're going to get 100% winners, 200% winners mixed in there. That's how you really make money and grow an account. Because anytime you're winning a high amount, when you lose, you're going to get blown out. So that kind of mindset, try in your trading to think about that and to really look when you're in the markets. Start thinking about the risk versus reward, not I have to win. I bet you this year I've won in this small account 50% of the time. Well, probably more. And this is little accounts up $7,000. And I think there's 18,000 bucks in it. So not bad. Robinhood, probably more. But That's the kind of mindset of, look at these trades, look at these shitty stocks, the Lunars, the Chewies, the GameStops, just look at the watch list. And if you guys need the watch list, just message or come to the 2:30 webinar and I'll give it to you. You know, look at these junk stocks. They're horrible. The Tevas, the Twilios, you know, the Costcos, the PayPals, the Nets, the Wells Fargos, the DraftKings. They're not your Apples or Nvidias or SPY because you have no advantage trading those stocks. Zero, zilch. You have an advantage on trading these junky stocks that can move, where there's news, where you can hit this home run grand slam, not, you know, oh man, I gotta trade the S&P right. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. DJT, another one, DJT. Let me look. Oh my God, microchips up $5. Oh, that's another one. Microchip, great. Oh my God, this call buyer. Remember oh my God, that $1 million call buyer from the other week. $1 million call buyer from the other week. That bastard. What news just hit in microchip? So again, these are the kind of stocks, not Nvidia. You're never going to see Nvidia with that kind of news. What's the microchip news? Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. What just hit microchip? They cut 2,000 jobs and the stock soars. God. So when you see $1 million bet in a stock like that, that should be getting your attention. Or a $3 million bet in Lunar. Or a $500,000 bet in like a Chewy. That's the kind of stuff that you want to focus on. Not, oh my God, NVIDIA. Who cares? Nothing's going to move NVIDIA. Everything's built in. I want you all to play baseball or basketball on steroids against 4'8" people where you're dunking on them. You're hitting home runs. It's easy. I don't want you playing against the 7-foot-tall Shaquille O'Neals or the Mark McGuires or the Randy Johnson pitchers. Trade with advantage. Go against the donkeys, right? If you want to run a race, don't run against some fast person. Run against the fat guy. That's how trading should be. All right, well, don't get me canceled, please. And I'm out of here. Have fun. I'll see y'all at, I think, 2:30 for Platform X. Call in if you need anything. I'll be around all day. Get the scanner. If you're asking what strikes to buy and all this stuff, that's why I create the news flow scanner. Hopefully there's a link somewhere. Just call in. All right? I can't give everything to y'all. That's why I create the scanner. I want y'all to be able to do it. All right, I'm out. Got the open. Look to close. Mostly all the longs this morning. Lots of longs. Close, 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 close. That's why I sent pre-market alerts for Tesla. I think I got to do quick flips now and wiretap.